Yeah, the natural's nice and open, so you can put pressure on multiple points, so there's more places where Ignite has to be aware of the ability to get attacked. So it's easier for Grubby to get position when he does go for a timing off of 2-base.
All right, let's take the time to introduce these players in this game. As you can see here in the top right, we have the blue Protoss representing Fnatic. He is Ignite. There we go, currently tying up the series 1-1. In the bottom left, we have the red Protoss representing his own team. He is Grubby. So this map being a two-player map allows for proxies and the like. But it seems like both players, I think they're at this point pretty confident in their own macro play and mid-game timing.
I think there's only 2 locations you can proxy, which is like the corner 4th base, or just at the side of the map, like middle, but then at the side there's like a little nook. But those locations are quite open and often just seen by something moving over if it's in the middle, and the corner is like an obvious place. I don't like this map for proxies that much, but if you do get away with it, it's really close to your opponent's base. So a proxy Stargate has potential.
Yeah, earlier today we saw Grubby do a proxy against Shaq. It started out really well, but he ended up losing that game still. I'm not sure if it was miscontrol or other mistakes that cost him the game. But he did proxy both his double gates and his cybernetics score at his opponent's third. Pretty something that you don't see all that often, at least I don't.
It's so obvious that it's unexpected. Like it's so close that it might be a location you won't check. Or Shaq could be the type of player that just doesn't scout around that much and just relies on his own build orders.
Yep. There's another nice move here we see here by Grubby. He puts one pylon all the way to the top left of his own main. We're going to get a few of that pretty shortly. That pylon at the edge actually means that he cannot... yeah, there we go. This is a good place to proxy, but it also scares your opponent into thinking you are going to hide some sort of tech.
Yeah, and it sees flying units coming in from the side as well. So it's a great place to put your third pylon or second pylon.
Yeah. We have Ignite being the first one to scout his opponent. Of course, not all that difficult on a two-player map. He's just going to be harassing Grubby's mineral line here for a bit.
Ignite still hasn't seen the cybernetic score. No, or I don't know what's... No, or the gateway. It's an extra gate. Ah, right.
It's an extra gate.
I was... okay. He did see the second gateway now, and I think that's in time.
All right, so Grubby's going to be scouting here, and he's going to find something interesting. It's going to be a Stargate in the back of the base of Ignite. Now, Grubby adding on the extra gate leads me to think that this will be a 2-gate expand, which is a more common type of macro play for Protoss, especially used in Protoss versus Protoss. It puts you at a tech disadvantage, but you can deal with Stargate attacks, usually.
Well, I'm curious what Ignite's plan is, because he threw down the Stargate after he saw the 2 gateways, so this is a response to what Grubby is doing. So I'm curious to see if it will be an Oracle or Phoenix. I think Oracle, but I'm not sure. But Ignite obviously has a plan against a 2-gate opener because he threw down a Stargate after seeing the second gateway.
Well, if this is an Oracle opener, there's technically 2 things Grubby can do. It's going to be an Oracle from the looks of it. He can either, he's got 2 Stalkers on the way now that are about to pop way before Warp Gate is finished, so he can put on some pressure with these Stalkers. At the same time, he can defend his mineral line. I think the reward for hiding off, keeping away your opponent's Oracle and preventing probe damage is a lot more than the actual damage you can do by putting on pressure with 3 Stalkers. But it seems he's going to move out onto the map.
So I guess, but Grubby saw the Stargate as well, so he must be aware. Maybe it's just a fake out? I'm not sure.
No, it's too late. His Stalker's already all the way across the map. Getting ready to put on some pressure. There's actually a pylon at the front. This Oracle, Grubby does not seem to know that it is underway. It has the potential to do a ton of damage here.
Is he expecting Phoenix? Like,
He's actually building a sentry at home.
I'm really weirded out by the decision to move out at this point.
Here comes the Oracle. It's got a ton of energy, so it's going to be able to shoot at probes all day long. There's only a single sentry here. The Mothership Core is actually on the other side of the map. So many probes here being slaughtered. Poor Grubby is losing so many of them.
I think that was great for Ignite, and that shows that he did that was the correct decision to go Stargate. It prevented Grubby from utilizing his gateways.
Yeah. Still, Grubby's plan seems to be on the way. He's actually getting a pylon up in his opponent's base. Warp Gate is about to finish. There's a single Void Ray to defend with here. A second Void Ray on the way. I think, is Ignite on only 1 gate? I think he is. Yeah, there's one. No, there's 2 Warp Gates for him, so he should be fine.
Yeah, they both have 2 gates.
All right, here comes Stalkers trying to focus on the Mudship Core. We need to be careful though, especially the present alignment does a ton of damage against Stalkers. Grubby already being forced to pull back.
This game is looking kind of grim for Grubby. He's not really getting tech, he just has gateways and an observer. And Ignite's just kind of making Void Race and I think gearing up for a timing.
Grubby is getting a Twilight Council, and so far, every time I've seen the Protoss go Twilight Council in a PvP this entire weekend, I think, it was followed up by a Dark Shrine, almost every single time.
I don't think it will be the case this time though. Like there's an Oracle with the army, so going Dark Shrine would be like an insane gamble. That would be Grubby saying he's gonna move out with an Oracle and lose it or not keep the Oracle at home. Like I think it has to be Blink or he wants to get Archons to deal with Void Race.
Grubby actually managed to see the fact that there's a robotics facility, so going DTs is a bit suicide, and there we go. He's starting Blink off of one base. I have to agree though with the supply tells a pretty big difference. We have 58 supply for Ignite against 46 of
and not
Grubby.
just any type of supply. That's expensive supply. That's 3 Void Rays and an Immortal on the way.
Okay.
While Grubby's supply is just gateway units, weak gateway units.
Oracle almost gets sniped, but casts Envision off of these Stalkers, so he will be able to see where all of these units will be going for. I'm not sure how long it actually...
long it lasts, like 60 seconds, I think? Or?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 60 seconds. So for the next minute, he'll be able to see where everything is going. Hallucinated Phoenix actually making its way into the base of Ignite, so he's going to get a good scout off, see the tech. Not too big of a tell, though. There's still no massive amount of tech, but there is a Forge on the way.
I don't know what Grubby just killed. I think, did he kill the Oracle? Yeah, I think Grubby just killed the Oracle.
Okay, well, that's good for him.
That's really good. That's nice. That means he can be aggressive on the map. Or it doesn't mean that, but that could mean that he wants to take the risk now that there isn't a second Oracle.
So, looking at both players' game plan, both seem to be very content with sitting back and expanding and playing the macro game. Looking at Grubby's tech choice, he's getting a Templar Archives, but he's also getting Blink, which feels to me like a bit of an unusual
he needs to get Templar Archives because Ignite could be making more Void Rays.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he doesn't go Templars, the Void Rays will just eventually do too much damage to the Stalkers.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's uncomfortable for Grubby, and this does not look good at all.
Yeah, he's going to have to put a lot of Chrono Boost into his next side in order to get the probe count that he really needs in order to stay in this game. Looking at the worker count, he's actually managed to equalize and is now pulling ahead. For some reason, Ignite isn't chronoing a lot of putting a lot of Chrono Boost into his next side, but
Ignite is playing under their mindset. I'm ahead. I stopped the pressure. I did so much damage. I'm not going to give it away. You know, I'm not going to make too many probes and die to a timing.
Do you think that's too passive against a player like Grubby?
Yeah, for sure. I think you need to be more confident with your decisions. Like either like make a lot of units and actually put pressure on yourself, or just play good, but also like keep your economy up. Because even if Ignite maybe cut an Immortal and Chrono probes for a bit longer, he would still be in a fine spot.
I think Ignite just changed his mindset as he's currently pushing across the map with 3 Void Rays and 3 Immortals. Very scary composition here for Grubby to hold. Fortunately for Grubby, he does have a healthy sentry count, so he can actually hold this off somewhat with force fields. He's also spotted this force coming towards his base. He's got 4 High Templar sitting at the top of his ramp, ready to be morphed into Archons. Perhaps he wants to feed back something, but this is going to be a really tough hold.
Yeah, the Void Rays alone are scary, and there's so many Immortals. I'm not sure. If Grubby had like a wall of Zealots in front of this, I would give him a shot, but this looks really scary. The Photon Overcharge is buying him time, though.
Yeah, it's buying him time. He's got another one already straight up on his Mothership Core. Using the Photon Overcharge early might actually help him a bit here, because it allows his Mothership Core to regen his energy back up again.
He can use the second one.
Here we go. We need the perfect force field here for Grubby, but
great force field.
Yeah, really good force field. Void Rays are actually focusing down on the Nexus. It's taking a lot of damage. One Templar is sitting here not actually being microed. Wow, the Nexus down to half health. Second Photon Overcharge to get deployed, save the energy. Sentries dealing with the Void Rays, and Ignite's army is actually melting almost. Almost, but the Immortals are still alive.
For a second, it looked like Ignite was going to do bad that fight, but the Immortals just stand strong. He's going to focus on the Nexus and back off.
Yeah, that's going to do tremendous damage to Grubby's economy. He still wants to kill these Immortals. Maybe if he pulled the probes a bit earlier, he might have had a better shot. But he's in a devastating position right now.
I'm very surprised and very... I'm very surprised that Grubby managed to hold that. That was beautiful.
It was a hold, but it's still at what cost? You know, he's lost so much of his economy, and his tech still isn't quite optimal. He's behind on upgrades, whereas Ignite is currently getting charge and +2. adding on more Immortals and just the income, it's...
Yeah, I'm not saying Grubby's in a good spot, but
No.
ask anyone before that fight, looking at the numbers, I think Grubby was dead in the water, and
Yeah.
somehow he managed to survive. That's nice.
Yeah, Grubby truly showing his quality here in this series. Still in a very tough spot. Nexus is about halfway done to be rebuilt. It would be such a sick move if he manages to come back, though. Looking at the supplies, it's actually somewhat equal. But like you mentioned earlier, the quality of Ignite's army is much higher.
Yeah, he is getting Archons, which do good against the Immortals, and if Ignite doesn't get his own Archons, I do feel a bit scared for him. But it does look good for Grubby. And as I say that, he throws down the Temple Archon. So
Yeah.
Ignite is looking to get some Archons as well.
Grubby's getting Immortal of his own as well. Is trying to catch up with the upgrades. Yeah, he's not dead in the water, but he still has a lot of catching up to do. Long distance mining from his natural, putting his units now back into action. What do you think Grubby needs to do in order to actually get back into this game?
I'm not sure what I think I would do, but Grubby's getting a robotic support bay. So he's looking for the Colossus Plague, and hopefully, I think he'll wait for 2 or 3 Colossus and then start poking again and try to out-micro Ignite's army. And I think that's a good decision, because that's a fight he can win based on how well he does the fight, and not necessarily a pure numbers game. If Grubby would just keep making Immortals and Archons, eventually Ignite's just going to have more stuff.
Grubby's taking a third. I was going to talk about this, like, in a question-wise, do you think he should be taking a third? The answer might have been no, because there are currently 6 Immortals and a whole lot of Zealots marching across the map. Ignite seeming to nail this timing perfectly. But I think taking a third is like the only shot Grubby really has, economy-wise, and catching back up. There's even a War Prism on the way for Ignite. He's currently supply blocked, but he has a forward pylon, and well, just a ton of Archons now for him as well.
Grubby sees that there's no third for Ignite, so I'm surprised he threw that down.
Yeah.
Grubby's not adding cannons, he's preparing for the attack, but this is difficult. He can't do beautiful force fields in this hole because of the Archons.
Yeah, he's gonna just pop the Guardian Shield maybe on one of these. No, not enough energy. His own Archons trying to take care of these Archons in the back, but now the Immortals are just focus firing it down. The Nexus once again. Is Ignite just gonna play the catch game and just recall out? But no, GG already called. And Ignite is up 2-1 against Grubby.
Very convincing. Ignite's playing the mid game, or like the early to mid game stage, is a lot better. I feel like often Grubby has a chance to kind of get an edge early game, but then like slowly